Если бы Джонатан был здесь, если бы здесь был мой муж.
Хватит.
Мне страшно, Крис. Я не могу. Никто этого не сможет понять.
Oh, a ladybug! Make a wish! Make a wish!
Знаешь, что принесет целый поток идей? Долгий, здоровый сон.
Shouldn't be a problem.
In a world of locked rooms, the man with the key is king. And honey, you should see me in a crown.
Oh, we like goblins, bats, and fishes, but we hasn't tried overuses before.
Hi, I'm Murdoch Nichols from Gorillas. Welcome to my crib.
Welcome, and sending a big hello to all of the animation enthusiasts that are here today with us. Sending a big warm hugs to everyone who decided to join us on the live stream, and also sending like big warm hugs to everyone who's watching this as a recording. I'm very grateful that all of you are here. I'm Kata. I'm a student of Animation Club, and with me today we have a special guest. He's a mentor of the 2D animation program, Edward Kurchesvsky. Hello to you.
Hello.
And today we're gonna discuss smears. Where, how, and why would you even use them? After the presentation, we have a live chat, and you could put all of your questions, anything you want to ask in it. I would just ask you to put a big word like question, all caps, before your sentence, so there won't be a chance that I'll miss it. So let's get on to smears.
Yes. All right. My name is Edward Kurchesvsky, and I'm 2D animator based in Paris. As Kata mentioned, I'm a teacher in the Animation Club.School, and today we're gonna talk about smears, how we use them, when, and what they mean. And let's share my screen. So first of all, smears. It's a very cool way of showing the speed, and usually you can see them in the anime, where there, for example, a lot of fast movement, like fighting scenes, and like fast jumping and running and so on. Here it's screenshots from the games. Also, they use them. And also you can, for example, see a lot of smears in the cartoon animation. They really use them and love them. For example, all this cartoon it's like with Bugs Bunny, you know, like all Looney Tunes. It's like SpongeBob and stuff. And basically you show by smears fast movements. It's usually fast movements. Sometimes people will use them to cheat a bit and to draw less drawings, but show the path, how animation moves, for example, from one point to another. But for example, me personally, I prefer to use them only, especially in the specific moments, and we're gonna talk about it right now. So yeah, you can see this is a very cool library of smears. You can study smears. Here is basically called AnimationSmears.tumblr.com. and it's a huge library. Yeah, let's if you want to, because smears are always different. Sometimes you can see that smears could be just repeated frames mixed together. For example, we have like two. I mean, we have point A and point B of our head, where it goes from and where, and we also like add here in on the same drawing another basically face like in between. Sometimes it's just like a stretched arm or face. Sometimes like you see here, it's a multiple like arms, like here, or sometimes it's just basically a drawn blur. It's you cannot see when what the shape means. You can see only the path, because it's like all stretched. For example, here, if you go to Pinterest, it's also another source to study smears. For example, here, it's what I was talking about. You basically here see the color, the shape that's basically stretched from one point to another, just to show the path, show the arc. So we cannot see here like 5 cars. No, it's just one car, but the silhouette just stretched. Oh yeah, like here, it's also another way you can see that it's basically like a ink or coal, right? Like this more artistical way. Like, I mean, it's charcoal. Yeah, it's like a charcoal way of showing the smear of something black. So sometimes you can, here it's more like pastel. Sometimes it's more graphical. Oh yeah, or like here, you can see that it's one big like stretched arm that goes from one point to another. And sometimes it's more like that, like a mess. But it's usually you see smears on fast movements that in animation put it on once. I mean, if you're not advanced animator, I will explain to you what means ones, twos, and threes. Basically, in animation, you have between keys, I mean, you have timing, right? In 1 second, we have 24 frames. It's our preview, it's our timing, and to have some movement, basically, you have to put some time in it. For example, if I stretch my first key, my first image, and you can see that between this frame and this frame, there is 10 or 11 frames. Basically, if you remember that is in a 1 second, it's 24 frames per second, 24 images. It's basically half a second, around half a second. So you can, when you put like 11 or 12, you understand that this image is still for half a second. And here, for example, also it's like a last frame, so we have another like 13 frames. Okay, so if you want to make animation, you have to make some movement between these 2 frames. Because now it's just popping, it's just changing, like teleporting from one position to another. But animation, it's about movement, how our character moves from one point to another. And here, we have to add some additional frames, right? And there is a question where to put these frames. That's why here we talk about timing. And for example, here I need to add basically one image between them, like something like in middle, like in like if we just think about the point in the middle. But also in animation there is 2 basic principles where on the first course, on the first course of the program, we learn about spacing, about timing, about model of character, about volume, how to keep it and how to make it right, how to make it believable, how to make it physically correct, and here, I mean, Smears, it's more for advanced animators, right? It's more about how to make your animation more like pretty, cool, and effective. So sometimes now I will use some words that's a bit more advanced. If you're interested about some basics, you can check our workshops that I did before, or you can also join our Discord channel. I think our link to our Discord will be in the description. In the Discord, you can participate every Friday drawing sessions, and you can also be a part of our community where we share our knowledge. It's completely free. It's for everyone, and I hope you will find some useful information there as well. So coming back to Smears, basically here. I put another frame, and you can see that it has number two. I mean, 2 frames between these drawings. Usually, smears are on ones, because smears, it's representation of the speed of the character. Basically, we don't see in real life smears because our eye is we see every frame, basically every I don't know, like we have like 50 or 60 frames per second. I think our eye, it's something around that, like 24. It's visually unprecise, but for animation it's enough. Our brain fake us and show us that everything is smooth, but in general our eye catch that it's not smooth enough. Okay, anyway, for example, here I did long time ago one reference when I had long hair as well. I did reference of the hit for my student, and here you can see that my camera is not catching all my movements, and it's smooth. My camera makes me blur, and basically it's representation of the smear. And yeah, basically here, and it shows the speed, and usually in animation we put it on once. That's why it looks very fast, and smears represent amplify this speed. Otherwise, if you will put, for example, this frame not for ones but for 2s or 3s or 4s, it will be very weird. It's gonna look like it's not a fast movement. It's gonna look like he has like 20 phrases, right? So to avoid that feeling that something is just stretched like a gum, we put it on ones, sometimes on 2s, but usually on ones, to make it very fast, to make this feeling. Yeah, you can see it here. Sometimes, like I said, it's just copy pasting in exactly the same shape. Yeah, for example, here you can see how how in this project this character he rotated kunai, and this rotation, like you can see that it's smeared, it's stretched, and also it's doubled to show the amplitude, this like a circle, how this kunai moves. Or here, for example, this character just jumps down, and its last frame, and it's on ones. Or here, for example, you can see that on every project depends on the style and depends on the taste of the animator. You can see that this smear effect drawn differently. Sometimes it's just rough black lines. Sometimes it's just here also like black lines. It depends of the project. Yeah, like here. But sometimes it's just very smooth like it was here. Yeah, sometimes it's just smooth shape. You see no black lines because it's clear. It's more basically elegant. Let's say when you just basically smear like a finger, you just press it, the shape. Yeah, you don't put any black lines like a speed lines, but it completely depends on the style of the project. It's not like, oh, this is bad way or this is good way. No, it just depends. Let's analyze one video from my favorite studio, The Line. One of my favorite studios, The Line in UK. It's the demo reel. Basically, you can see many projects, compilation of them. And let's analyze how they use smears. Yeah, it's exactly that project. For example, here, they actually did a lot of much more frames to that smear because it's one part of the body. It's not the whole body have a smear. For example, this it has 1 frame, 2 frames, 3. Okay, 2 frames. Only for 2 frames, we have this key with a smear kunai. So you can see it depends. But here, it has only 1. This one, because it moves just on front of the camera. I mean, it moves closer to the camera. Animator made it on once to show the speed. That's on the borders here on the upper part and lower part. It has 2 frames, but in the middle it has 1 to show the speed, but kind of slow down. It's higher. It's there is no basically rules for that. It's you have to try it and see it in practice to understand how how it works better. Because basically here it's slow down. Here he slows down kunai on the upper part and then accelerated again. Basically, that's why they did 2 frames to slow down. And then again, it's basically accelerates it maximum speed. It has maximum speed on that point. That's why sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's 1, but usually never on 3s because it's already slow. It's a smear. If you don't want to show, like really literally show the smear, you don't put it on 3s because it's not supposed to be shown. Or here, for example. Basically, yeah. Another thing, also usually smears are more strong when some parts of the character or something are closer to the camera, because closer to the camera you have faster speed. For example, if I hit something, my speed here it's not the same. I mean, visually. If I do the same speed here, it's much faster. You can even see that on my camera, my face is just a bit blurred, smooth. All right. So yeah, for example, here you can see that our character, character in this project, he stops for a while here just to make anticipation to charge a bit, and then from here he accelerates, and here it's just stretched. You can see slowly it starts to have smears, but next frame it's completely stretched, but it's almost out of the frame, and you don't supposed to see it. You have to feel it. You have to feel the speed, but not see it. Okay, it's a stop motion. Yeah, or for example, sometimes here, yeah, but it's more in After Effects. I think this motion blurs on the background is also in After Effects, but it's basically the same thing. It's representation of the speed. Yeah, and you can see here, character just it's closer to the camera and it's fast. That's why it's on smears. Boom. Yeah. and here, yeah. All right, I hope I explained how Smears works. It's it basically on practice. You learn how to use them. You learn how to draw them. I recommend to look more references and analyze animation. For example, here, yeah, like it's only one frame. Look, it's basically the same image, but to amplify the character is super fast, but then it stops very, very like sudden, right? They did this smear effect, like motion blur, but it's not motion. It's not made in After Effects. It's made in TV Paint, basically by Animator. And as I mentioned again, when something goes closer to the camera, for example, you can see that this leg, it has smear, but not super big. But this thing, because it goes closer, it has bigger smears because it's here. Why I'm showing this the line demo reel, because they very well take these anime tricks and use them in the European high quality productions. It's amazing. All right, so let's draw something. So I did this bunny. He wants to hit something. Maybe he trains or do something like that, and I wanted to make him like with a fast hit, like amplified movement. And of course, on the first course, after first months of the first course, after all these pillows, jumping, and all these basics, that's crucial, important for understanding animation. We going to also to hit exercise, but we're gonna do it with the pillow. But our pillow will morph after hitting something, after hitting some wall, let's say. It's gonna morph into some character. So you will have on the second month of the first course, you will have already quite large experience in exercises. You will have pillow jump, you will have like a bouncing ball, overlapping movement, pendulum, hit. I mean, this anticipation, fast movement. So you will understand how to work with the spacing and timing. And then you will also work with the space, with the morphing. So our character, maybe I can show you something. Maybe I can show you a demo reel from our first course student. So it's not going to be just my words, but some video.
Some hard evidence.
Yeah. Okay, maybe there is some questions already while I'm searching for something.
Yes, we have a question from Raja Bag for Game. I'm learning animation through WinkFox. Is it easy to learn 2D animation? I'm already studying drawing and how to use perspective in my drawings.
So question, is it easy to learn 2D animation?
Yep.
It's 100% not easy. Especially in the beginning. Of course, it depends of your drawing skills, and also many more. I mean, basically animator has to have a good feeling of timing, of rhythm, of movement, of your body. But let's say you have to understand how body moves, because you draw some movement, right? You have to understand how it moves. but of course, with hard work, after 3 months of our first course, for example, you will have basically what I will show you right now. So this is demo reel of our students. Basically, you can see all these demo reels on our YouTube channel. So please subscribe and follow our news. Okay, maybe I will also do optimization. So this is our first exercises. It's gonna be it's a mix. It's a bouncing ball with a tail. Then it's gonna morph to pillow, and then pillow will go to the pendulum. After that, we're gonna have another exercise, but last one it will be a turnaround. So you will have experience with animation in volume with a model. So you have to keep it. You have to understand how to draw every frame, every single frame in model. So character will not change. The appearance will not change. And it's super important in animation that your character will be consistent. Yeah, and actually, the more experience you are in animation already in the first course, the more complex and difficult exercises you can develop. For example, here we have Eugenia that was already very skilled on the first course, and she did, for example, already colored backgrounds and also this additional some FX animation of the wall. It's not exercise. I mean, it's not built in exercise. It's just her idea of how to tweak the main rules of exercise, but to make it more interesting and how she wants. Yeah, and our character basically needs to hit something, walk through the wall, make a morphing, and fly, or like swim around in the space. So you will have complex experience after 3 months. So basically, what I'm showing to you, it's only 3 months of education, and people sometimes has no experience. But more experience you have, better results you will have. Yeah, for example, this one.
Oh, this one is so good. I remember this one.
Yeah. We have only 12 weeks, 12 exercises. Plus, we have additional months between courses that called after class. It's not mandatory. It's additional months when if you want to finish your works and just complete it in a better way. All right, so I think I hope I explained how our first course works, because now again I'm explaining a bit advanced things, advanced techniques and smears, and I already working with model, with the character. In the beginning of first course, we're not working with it. We're working with a pillow, with a ball and stuff, and gradually we're increasing the difficulty. So don't worry, don't be afraid. Like if you are first time here and you look at what I'm doing right now, and you're gonna think that, oh my god, I'm never gonna do that. It's not true. After first course, you will be able to do exactly what I'm doing right now. All right, so now I have to do a breakdown. Breakdown, it's a word for additional key, additional drawing that adds more information to our movement. Because this frame and this frame, it's called key. But this one, it's a breakdown because it's not just in the middle. I'm not drawing just 100% key in between. No, I do some overlapping movement. For example, I want to animate my head that moves first with the body. I'm doing it very rough. But my fist is still here. By that, I do desynchronization, and my character moves not separately, but a bit differently. For example, I accelerate my hit gradually by accelerating it slowly, like frame by frame. I'm doing right now rough versions, so I'm not thinking about beautiful drawings. I'm thinking about my movement. Also on our YouTube channel, you can watch streams with our guests who give some tips and tricks about animation, explain their past, their experience in the animation industry, and you can learn, like how you can find a job, and what's another animators already experienced and well known in the animation industry, how they started to do animation, how they started their path.
Yeah, recently we had an animator from Cartoon Saloon who worked on My Father's Dragon and Wolfwalkers, and he gave like a lot of tips and tricks how to work in TV Paint and just make your process like a bit faster.
Yeah, unfortunately, he gave tips and tricks for TV Paint 11, but fortunately, in our school has a discount. If you join our courses, we have 20% discount to buy TV Paint 11 license. All right. Okay, just very rough. And next frame. I will do a key that's called extreme. I will go slightly forward because we have key A, let's say, and key B. And now I'm doing C, but after C, I want to do extreme key that I will go here. I will do D, and then I will go back to B. So it's gonna amplify my speed, my strength of the hit, of the punch, even more.
It's like him balancing out the weight, like he's like bringing himself back a bit from the force of the punch.
Yeah, sometimes it's called overshoot, sometimes it's called like overlap, sometimes it's called extreme. Yeah, it depends, because in the animation industry there is sometimes many words for different things, but if you experience animator, you know what sometimes people say that means the same thing, but you know from by context what they mean. Yeah, and by drawing rough, I start to push my drawings, my idea, because when I will do basically clean or more precise drawings, I will always dry my drawings. It's the process always. Your drawings become drier and less expressive because you start to draw a model. So while you're doing rough animation, you have to be very expressive.
Leonardo is asking, so the extreme poses are basically what we in other places would call anticipation and overshoots.
Yeah,
just like a different word, or it's a little bit different.
Overshoot is also mean when you, for example, it's like additional, like amortization movement. After some movement, you do another movement that's called overshoot to slow it down, for example. And for example, when you run and then you suddenly stop, your body moves forward. It's also called extreme because it goes forward to extreme pose. It's like more further pose in the arc, and also called overshoot. Basically, extremes, it's all keys that are on the I would say the on extreme poses of the arc. So on the furthest on the, for example, this is extreme, this is extreme. Yeah, or sometimes it's extreme cold when it goes here and then goes back, like I'm doing right now. It depends who, with who you work and who prefer what.
So like just
Meaning
based on the context.
Yeah, exactly. And now doing smear. I did no smears for now. Maybe it's already too much, but I'm really trying to do a huge punch, and maybe I will also raise his heel.
Also, we have a question about how can we keep the same volume for every frame and every part of the body.
Yeah, I will explain a bit later. But basically, you use two tools. First, it's called out of peg. Basically, when you do animation, you have to know that what means onion skin or light table. Basically, you have all your drawings from before and forward, and you can basically take. It's out of peg. It started. I mean, this phrase started in the time when people used to draw on paper, and you basically take your paper drawing from the from peg bar. Yeah, and that's why it's called out of peg. And you, for example, you take your drawing, and you shift it, and you put it here, and you press enter. So in TV Paint, there is in light table that there is these small dots below every frame. You click on it, you drag, you click enter, or you, for example, you rotate or you scale. It's very, very, very useful thing. Without it, you will struggle a lot with the volume. So you use that. Or you also use, if you have a reference like I do, you use guideline. Guideline, it's a game changer in the 11 to 11. You basically import your reference drawing and you put it everywhere you want. You scale it, you make it, you just flip it, and it's never change the quality, because when you import some image and you move it around into Paint, its quality is decreasing. But here, no, nothing. You just use it as a guidelines, and it's just amazing. It's very useful, and you just every time you can just hide it and work forward. All right, so that's time for huge smear. Sometimes I do sound effects for my animation just to feel the movement. A bit forward. Yeah, you already can see how fast it feels. Yeah, and my body goes backward. I also use a lot flipping. Basically, I flip my drawings backward and forward. It's also stayed from the paper times. Like we flip the paper and we flip our keys, our frames. By flipping, I see the motion, the arcs and stuff, and spacing. And when I see spacing, I understand how fast or slow my animation will move. You don't need sometimes to make it like to make play to see it. Of course, play or like show you like final result, right? But for now, I'm not working with timing. I'm just working with spacing. It's easier to separate it if you understand how it works. Yeah. And also some overlap for ears. All right, so I have only keys, right? I have only like breakdowns, like additional information. And now I want to make timing just to check. So here we have a pose. I always suggest to start with a pose to wait at least like half a second in the beginning of the shot. If you don't have like sequence and something started from previous shot and you have continuation of it, please always start with additional like 8 minimum frames to show the audience that okay, we have a character, it's staying in the position like that, and it's gonna move. And otherwise, if you start your animation right away, like from this point, sometimes people not even like are ready to look something, to watch something. You're already like showing it, right? You miss some time, and audience will miss your work basically. And to avoid that, always make some pause in the beginning. So after I have anticipation, I don't want to make it too fast. And if you faster movement you have, longer anticipation you should make. So basically, to have like huge fast punch, I want to make my anticipation a bit slow. So I put it on 3s. And maybe here on 4, maybe here on 3s, and then pam. And of course, I don't have anything here. I will add more frames, like overshoot right now, like my amortization after huge fast movement, right? But for now, I keep it like that, and let's check how it works. I see already that it's a fast movement, but to make it more vivid, more believable, I have to add some amortization here, overshoot. I flip again. Yeah, my hand could be also like even here. I can put my my body with my legs to next frame here, and here make it even more. I mean, it's gonna only start accelerate going backward. sometimes when you add more frames, you have to like kind of redraw and remanage your positions of previous frame that you already made, because sometimes you add something and some speed change and movement, like timing is changing as well, and it's important when you add additional frames, additional keys, right, to not make your animation fad, and just smooth, like butter smooth, and everything is the same. So always think about rhythm, about speed, acceleration and slowing down. And by that, I just cut this body with the legs and put it here, because I know that I'm probably gonna be here. But here I want to make acceleration, just slowing, like slow in. Or slow out. I'm always confusing with this, but okay, acceleration.
Tomato. We actually have another question. So you're putting the smear frame on ones. Can we only add a smear frame when we work on ones? We already discussed that, but maybe we could talk about more.
So question is can we
use smear frames other than on ones?
Yeah, we can use it on twos. Rare, very rare on threes. I already showed the example where you use like a smears on twos. It's basically when you have already, you want to make a smear, you want to make like fast, like blurred movement, but you want to like accelerate, or you want to slow it down. For example, to not have only one frame. If you have long movement, to not have only one frame on once and then just normal frame. If you want to make it like kind of slowing down and accelerating, sometimes you put additional frame smear on two to make, like, for example, like I said, one smear on once and another smear that already slowing down. For example, here we have already hand. So here we don't have a hand. For example, it's very blurred and it's smeared. But here we already have a hand, but it's still smeared. So we can make it on twos, for example, to slow it down. But here we have already hand, for example, like fist. And this, for example, on 4, like 6 or something like stop, right? So we're slowing down and we still have a smear, but it's already slower than this frame. Is it clear?
I think to me. Plus, you can backtrack to the stream because it's all of this is recording. And just as Edward mentioned, we had a very good example of like a character from line animation. They were like swinging a blade, and you can see that they use some of the smears on twos and some of the smears on one, depending how far the blade is from the camera. Like the closer it comes, the faster it goes.
Yeah, and animation is so it has so many layers. So you always learn something new, and you always increase the bar, and you train to do something more advanced, more difficult, more complex drawings. So it's basically infinite learning. But on our courses we explain everything what you need to already start to work and to get into the world of animation.
And that's also a good answer to a question we had, that I would love to study for animation in a place like Goblins, but I don't have the opportunities to do so. So I was very interested if I can get a similar experience by joining the courses in the school.
Yes, by going through all our program that has 1.5 years, basically you will have everything what we did in the Goblin, But in Gobelin, for example, okay, it's famous school, but it's also offline school, and you basically sitting in the classes 8 hours per day. But in our classes, you have only one lesson per week, and basically you have tasks already well made. That in the end of the course, if you work a lot and you self practicing as well in drawings in the same time, you already understand everything. You have basics, you have character animation, body mechanics, you have acting, you have even short film. We have additional course that's called short film creation, where we in teams we're developing our short film. It's for now it's a super short format. It's like only 30 seconds, but this summer we have exception. We participating additional competition for Pink Floyd. Pink Floyd released the album Dark Side of the Moon 50 years ago, and for that, to celebrate that, they create a competition to create a video clip for their for the music songs from the album, and we're going to participate in that. And this summer, it's starting from June, we launching this course with this video clips assignment, and it's gonna be a mix of 4 classes. It's gonna be animation, FX animation, visual development, and compositing. And you're gonna have additional groups, additional teams, and animation team will create idea. It's gonna be basically you will be a director, and you will have meetings with other teams like visual development team, and you're gonna explain your idea, and they will try to feed this idea and create a unique style of this video clip. And after it's gonna be a fix team that's gonna add their works to that video clip, and then in the end of third month, compositing team will put everything together and finish this project. Deadline for this competition will be 30 November. So it's unique opportunity if you really wanted to do some cool work in the teams, but it's only for experienced animator. So when you will apply, I will always ask you for your portfolio, and only people who understand how to work in the teams, how to do animation, how to do basically everything what necessary, only will be allowed to that course. Otherwise, you have to, like in usual process, you have to go through first, second, and third course, and learn body mechanics, acting, all basics, and only then after this 1 year education, you will be allowed to submit to fourth class, to this short film creation, and create this basically diploma project in the teams. This is our plan for our course. I think it's a unique opportunity in online school to have this experience, and don't miss it.
And it feels like a real production. I remember when I went through like short film creation, it felt really official because you had to pitch your project, you have to develop a style, you have to make a big presentation showing everything you did for the creation of the short film. You have to explain your idea and everything, and then you have to work with other teams and give them directions with how you want to see it and what do you want to do. So
yeah, and actually Kata is a very good example because she already finished, she already complete this class, and their film, for example, was selected in several festivals because we trying to make a distribution for your films and sell and send to the festivals and make it also public.
Yeah, we actually even got to a very good festival It's pretty prestigious, called CineQuest, and it's held in San Jose every year. And I've seen some very good animations, of course, of a bigger caliber than ours, but it's still, you know.
We still have this 30 seconds format, but it's only because we have only 3 months, and it's online education. We cannot basically afford like 1 minute or 5 minutes or even like sometimes like 7 minutes shorts like in Goblin, because we're not working full time, and people basically all have their own lives. That's why we have this format, but hopefully there is many festivals who accept super short formats, and they have their own competition in that format. So yeah, it's always cool. It's always good to participate in some intense and unique experience. Yeah, because it basically represents experience in the studio.
Yeah, pretty much. Also, there's a question. Do you provide any scholarships for international students?
No, we don't provide any scholarships because we're not official. I mean, we're not like school with like master diplomas and degrees and stuff. We are online courses, but we and we're actually very flexible. For example, if you're participating in our courses, you can, because you pay monthly, right? You know, you can participate, for example, first month, and if you don't have like money and stuff, you can stop it, pause it basically, and then continue in another launch like 3 months later,
Next course.
basically for next course from the same like moment, right? Yeah, but it's just basically up to you, up to if you will not forget anything in this 3 months pause, and if you look at the prices of the other offline schools, it's dramatically less expensive. But we're really trying to give you all information and all experience that you can get to offline school. Yeah.
Plus, you get a lot of good stuff. If you study on like good grades, you get additional like materials, and in the end of like 3 courses, you get a really good review from like a person who already works in the industry. Just we discussed like Alan Michaud. He came to us and he showed like a bunch of tricks, but also he was working with our students' animations and improving them at the same time. So that was very useful.
Yes, basically
Plus,
now on our I'm sorry. Basically, on our YouTube channel, you can check. There is a playlist with our guests. It's students review, I think.
I think so.
Not
yes.
Sure. Yeah, I think here there is a playlist, and there is all our guests. That now it's only 2. Now it's supposed to be more. Probably we're gonna add more. It's a feedback from different guests, and only students with higher scores get feedback from them. Okay, maybe let's come back to the assignment. What I'm doing right now. Basically, I finished it like as a rough version. There is room to make it better. For example, here I know that I want to make this a little bit higher. Basically, now we have only polishing left. But I want to explain what I did here. So first of all, we have first pose, like starting position. Then I did anticipation. Basically, I start to accelerate my body. My body moves forward, but my fist moves forward as well, but not that fast. You can see that spacing between my fist here and my head is drastically different, right? My head start to move much faster, accelerate much faster, and by that we make a nice, interesting like way of movement, and also we make like stronger acceleration for our fist. Here as well, I move my body forward, but my fist still moving, still slow, like very slow. You can see that it's basically almost in the same position, but it still moves forward. It's not just, stucking in the same position. By that, I really pushed my pose. I almost made him out of balance. He always falling, but after that, I start to twist like a mill, right? It starts to swing, and my body. Look, you can see that my body, my legs start to move backward, but my head with my ears and the fist start to move forward. This called desynchronization and overlapping movement. When something is stopping, something is continuing moving, and in that position, I did this smear because this one is the most. It's basically the punch, the faster position of the fist. And here it's already slowing down. You can see that my body is already going down. Yeah, here maybe. I check spacing to not make it very, like popping, and like anything popping, anything like very like jumpy. And yeah, and my body is slowing down, and it's called overshoot. You can see how my fist goes. This is basically extreme position for the fist, and it goes, out of arc, basically. That's why it's called extreme. And after that, it goes back. It's super rough. It's still not perfect. It still probably will change, and I will tweak some more, position in the spacing. But it's just rough movement to show you how it works, right? How to use it. And also, look, this is my timing. Like I said in the beginning, I have 11 frames just to have a pose, just to show to the audience what's going on. Next, we have 4 frames because I don't want to rush. I don't want to make it super fast. I want to make anticipation a bit slow to amplify this contrast between movement, between the punch, and make it because animation is about contrast. It's about rhythm. If everything is slow, it's boring. It's everything is fast, it's unclear. You cannot understand what's going on. That's why the balance is the best way to make animation interesting. We have something slow, we have something fast. So here I have 4 frames. 4 frames, it's already like it's noticeable that there is a gap. There is something that we have to fill later, but 3, it's already enough. I'm not. I will not even put anything in between. I will keep this 3 until the end of my animation probably, and after my 3. I have 1, so you have different. I have very big difference, right? So that's why this contrast will amplify my hit, my punch, and after this 1, I have again 3, and then it stopped, right? Probably here in the future I will need more frames, more drawings, but for now it works like that. Sometimes you don't have to always work on tools. You don't have to. In we're not Disney. We're not trying to make it like perfect because perfection not on tools. It's more about right position of the spacing and smart timing, because in the modern industry, time is valuable, and efficiency is the key. And if you can make something cool looking with less drawings, with less effort, it's already enough. You don't need to make it differently. All right, so you can see that my animation here, my smear is on once. Let's watch it several times. You can see that he's accelerating, and then he makes this punch very, very fast, right? But what if I put this smear on 2 or 3? Let's see the difference. It still works, but in general, it feels slow. It feels like he punched something without idea to punch it. It's more about to make it, to hit something, but not strong enough. Just, like to not hurt someone, or he hesitates. But if, for example, I put on 3, it already feels like it's like underwater or something, like very slow. It's not unnatural, like especially when we have smear, because when you have smear, it means, okay, this is a fast movement. But if you have not fast enough timing, it feels weird. I hope it was clear. Again, it was very fast, represent like I would say workshop, like very fast representation. I didn't polish anything, but I hope the idea was here.
Yeah, I mean, an idea is shown pretty well.
Yeah,
and you
and
can
also,
actually see the difference when it's put on 2s on 3s. So
yeah,
answered someone's question one more time.
I also liked how Tonico Pantoja explained about smears. He shown, for example, like in his video, how, for example, here it was no smear, it was only keys, very rough how he punched, but with smear it feels much faster, because here it just like changing of position of the hands, but with smears it felt, because it's very rough as well, it felt very fast. But sometimes you can also add additional directions of your punch, and it's gonna also amplify that he does like southern punches in a minute, like in different directions, and you don't need to draw every punch in every direction, because when you do that, it's already made by our brain, is already connecting everything together, and it works. Yeah. So that's it. Do you have any questions?
We have one question. Can we work in TV Paint 10 Pro during the courses?
Of course. You can work in any software. It's not important for me. If you work in TV Paint, it's better for me to make a feedback for you, but it's not crucial. You can work on like in other, like Toon Blue, Harmony, or like Procreate, or anything else. Just send me like move video file, and I will give you feedback on top of that.
That's pretty good. I don't think we have any more questions. I only just want to say, plus I didn't get to say it, if you're planning to study animation, but you don't want to like go on this course, say in June, and you want to join later, you can always join our Discord server. We post a lot of news about what's going on in our school, which classes are open, which will very soon close, because the number of students is very limited per class. Plus, we have a lot of just live drawing sessions, animating sessions. One of them is 5-Minute Friday, which every Friday we gather together on a specific theme, and we basically either animate together or I animate something, and some people just like to watch and chat about animation as well.
Yeah.
So a lot of places where you could craft your
yes,
craft.
it's amazing. It's amazing time. It's amazing place to learn something and to share your work with everyone. Also, I want to mention that we're gonna publish my work, what I did today, on our Instagram, and we will make some hashtags. So if you will do like also like smear animation, please also I would say hashtag us, and we're gonna share your work on our Instagram channel.
Yeah, and feel free to share also the animations on the Discord server. You can either do it through Post Your Art sub-channel, or you can go straight up to 5 Minute Friday.
Yeah, and if you will post something, also tag me, and I would love to see your work and give you some small feedback if you want.
Yeah, and I think our time is coming to a close today. So thank you for all of the people who joined us on the live stream. I'm very grateful that you came and asked questions, and we had a lot of compliments about the animation that Edward was doing. So thank you as well. And thank you to all people who are watching this through recording. It takes a lot of attention span to go through a video that's more than 5 minutes long, especially for me. So I'm also giving big hugs and saying thank you. And I think we can close our time for today.
All right. Thank everyone. See you next time.
Yeah, see you soon.
Hello everyone, this is Animation School. My name is Edward Kurchesvsky, and I'm professional 2D animator based in Paris.
Bobby, would you care for a piece of pie?
I studied animation over 10 years in one of the top schools in the world, and now I'm ready to share my knowledge with you. In the past 4 years of teaching, my students achieved remarkable results and working in studios like Cartoon Saloon, Skiad, studying in schools like Gobelin de l'École de l'Image and CalArts.
I'm not sure what we've got here, Charlie. But if we've got what I think we've got something.
Our goal is to prepare qualified professionals in a short amount of time during our intense course. We are here to also create a bridge between you and studios and help you find your first professional position in industry. Online studying became one of the most important parts in worldwide education system, and I am pretty sure with us you will achieve great results. Good luck!